This one's called Henry the Eighth, I am. I'm Henry the Eighth, I am. Henry the Eighth, I am. I got married to the widow next door. She got married to the 12 people, and everyone was a Henry. Henry for the culture where they are down. I got over to Henry. Henry the Eighth, I am. Stuck in dirt, get out the blood. I'm Henry the Eighth, I am. Henry the Eighth, I am. I got married to the widow next door. She got married to the 12 people, and everyone was a Henry. Henry for the culture where they are down. Over the over to Henry. Henry the Eighth, I am. Woo! I got married to the widow next door. She got married to the 12 people, and everyone was a Henry. In the culture where they are fair. I went to Henry. Henry the Eighth, I am. H-E-N-R-Y. Henry. Henry the Eighth, I am. Henry the Eighth, I am. For all the schoolgirls out there, I'm not allowed to get me out of the didn't have what to say. The job that she was going to take the ride. You know that I like that, you know what's going around. With every little it's going down. The boy was nice, like when I found out my girl. more mangling here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't want to go away. I wanna go see the Tuesday. I was born for to say we were gonna run away. Yeah, to drive me wild. I was just all out of time. Vacation for you. Nowhere you're going to. No VIII again. The time that I feel fair. I don't want no business fair. I was born for to say we were gonna run away. You to drive me wild. It was just how I began. Vacation is for you. Where you're going to. No VIII again. To drive me wild, to drive me down. Vacation for you, nowhere you're going to. No VIII again. Nowhere. Come on, let's go. Porceline Scene. What you like, but no show. We keep that sound, so we figure out. Play game with the game. Let no home, the body of us. Think of all the left team. I know. Maybe you're a rich man, and maybe you're a boring man too. You get what you like. Please remember my favorite line. Locking tight inside my city, holding up the door. How could you know? Living on the side of pity, everything is so much for you today, what you do without me. All these years I've ever seen, we worship without you, know what you say. Please remember my favorite line, to make me do it every time. She knows, you're such a side, please do your friend. I really like to see more of you, darling. every time she knows. She knows. Locking tight inside my city, pulling up the door. How could she know? Living on green skies, I'm pretty, everything is so pretty. I'm feeling me for you today. Won't you do it my way? All these years of fantasy, the wishing about do what you say. Remember my favorite lines, and make it feel every time she does. She does. Guess what the next song's called? Guess! Who said Memories? Too bad. Two you lost. You remember that little girl with the green eyes, the dark hair, the faces on her teeth, you live in the hall. And even if you saw her now, we could know she was, we could make it different, we could make her feel at home, or we could feel at home. Memories of the time that used to be, memories of the people we used to be, memories of the places we used to go, memories, stay together, together. You remember that little girl with the green eyes, with the dark hair, the faces on her teeth, she lived in the hall. And even if you saw her now, would you know who she was? Make her feel at home, or would you feel out? Memories of the times that used to be, memories of the people we used to be, memories of the places we used to go, memories, stay together, together. This song goes out to the audience. The damn dog is head. What a great. You make it feel so good. Can't stop the motion, listen to the social motion, yeah. And the people that live, well, you're there, you're never really there. I can't stop when you are there. You make it feel so good, I don't know how you feel. You make it feel Till we reach the elevator there. We got down and I'll see you there. That's the whole deal. If you love me when you want it, you're making it feel so good. I don't know how you do. You're making it feel so good. Woo! I feel something much better than you. That's no solution. Cause I can't help it. We will say it on the ocean. I feel something when you want it. You're making it feel so good. I don't know how you do. You're making it feel so good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much. And you gotta dance those in the back who don't want to move. They'll tell you themselves. I mean, are y'all gonna hurt them? No. You won't hurt it. Oh. Unless you step on your foot. Hell, baby, I'm almost sick of here. Don't you know that the rut is slow? Sergeant, hey, baby! Don't that bum you out? What's the matter with it? Doesn't really matter where he goes. Sometimes even you let you do if you don't mind, baby, down wherever you go. Fuck and hate, get away, I'm a guilty crowd of it. Fuck and hate like a dog. If I feel like me by you, you better watch out when it comes on you. Hop, 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 I'll tell you blue. You better watch out, you better Don't get hate, get the weight of a guilty driver. Don't get hate like a dog. Don't get hate like a dog. Don't get hate like a dog. You took, you guys, I'm good. No need to really put you down. Can't see your eyes when they look down, look down, look down. Now been off visual time, no friend and alibi, because you got, now I'm good. Let's play! Here's another new one called Round the Downtown. And it goes... When I'm going down, when you want to try it, they were lying, I know. But the only ever saw me now, and you are down on the and now you're running from your shadow. And now you'll never go too far. I was always hanging down when they were lying, they were going, I know. But the only ever saw me now, and you are on your now you're running from your shadow. And now you're gonna go too far. Just stay right hanging around, on the ground, the downtown. You know I'll never you know I was going round with C1 Lightyear, C1 Lightyear, I know. But the owner ever put you down and you would go under. And now you're running from your shadow. And now you're gonna go too far. Roll the do-do, roll the do-do, roll the do-do, roll the do-do. I got you running, you can pick up pills. You could be trying anywhere in the world. But you can be your mommy, we can't leave me in the world. I'm not a fool, that's how people say about what I like. You should be cutting up the feeling that I like. Oh, come on, give it that go. I wanna hear you go. Come on, give it, go, 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 go. I got you running with you to go down. You could be running inside the world. You could be the mind and you can't be in the soul. I gotta go and have what people say about what I like. You could be crying up for people years that I like. Oh, come on, give it your go. I wanna hear you go. Come on, give it, go, 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 go. Thanks a lot for coming. With the right, with the who, what, well, what you are, who are to be fine. So the girls, of the wild, what you are, you now, to that girl. We are really for kids. Look back, still get my seat. I look at you and I can see it there. So sad, so sad, so sad, so sad, so sad, so sad, so sad. So the fools, so the goddamn fools, what they want to love, to their love. So the ones, so the only ones, what they want to down, to their tail. I'm a little kid. Look back, still to my feet. I look at you and I can see it so funny.
That's the Normals. Boy, that's the first time I've heard that. And I'm sorry to say that, but it is the first time I've heard it. The Normals are not the Normal.
Not the song TVOD.
Not the TVOD
Don't get that
group.
mixed up.
That's without an S. This band has an S on the end of its name and doesn't have an English accent. Right?
Quite right.
Where are you from?
We're all from New Orleans.
That's in Louisiana.
Wow,
Yeah,
thanks,
sorry.
John.
Now that you said that was not a new single.
That's about a year and a half old.
How long has the band actually been in existence?
November 1977.
77. Now, I would say, just from what I know about having lived in the South for 5 or 6 years, that what we just heard ain't exactly basic Southern rock and roll. Did you find it difficult to gain wide acceptance playing the type of music that you play, especially in 1977?
Took a while. We sort of wrote on when the Sex Pistols came down there. That created a lot of stir down there, and we were doing a lot of copy material at the time. Damned and the Sex Pistols and the Jam and
Ramones,
Clash,
a lot of
Ramones.
How did this happen to you?
Yeah,
I mean,
how did
this
you
is
get
not
turned on
this
to
is
all
not a
this stuff?
Southern thing to do at the time. I mean, wasn't Southern music pretty much Allman Brothers to Leonard Skinner to Confusion?
They had
Charlie
there's a
Daniels.
lot of different kind of people around there, and in New Orleans, you know, there's got a lot of people that like that. But New Orleans is sort of a continental city. It's like French and Spanish, and they've got a lot of different things there, and it's surrounded by swamps, so it's not really a typical Southern city. It's not.
Couldn't have happened if you were living in Biloxi then.
Probably not. no.
Or even Nashville or nothing like that.
We had lots of friends
It'll
that
probably
came.
even happen in Austin or Houston. I don't think.
Was it possible at one point in the career of the Normals to have all of your fans in one hall at the same time? I mean, all of the people that were interested in this
Sure,
kind of
yeah.
music.
The beginning.
Even now in New Orleans, have you been back lately?
We're going back in like 3 weeks. It's supposed to be a real big thing.
They're on.
It's good.
Talking
It's
about it on the
definitely gonna be-
radio now.
Because we've
Yes?
been down there in months, so it's.
We got a lot of press while we were down there because it was there wasn't anything else happening besides us for one, and they didn't know what other bands to import from up here. You know, they didn't know what bands were good from the north. A lot of the clubs down there didn't know. And the atmosphere in New Orleans, the Mardi Gras atmosphere and the party atmosphere, and it was conducive to what we were doing, and the attitude that I guess new wave music and punk was trying to say also. It's like conducive to the natural element of New Orleans because it's a sort of a free-for-all party town anyway.
It still took a little while to build up a good following.
Yeah, there's a lot of they play punk, so they've got to be bad. A lot of that for a while.
Really?
But,
Yeah.
Is new wave music more readily accepted down there now that you guys have made it in
Definitely.
the town?
so.
Definitely.
Like, what, is radio playing the Clash? Or are they playing the Ramones?
No.
No.
Well, there's one
But
FM
you
for,
go see the band.
Private stations too. I mean, there's a couple.
The college stations,
couple, yeah.
Tulane station plays on it.
But you wouldn't believe all the
We'll go see
bands
the
now
band.
that they used to do copy material, like a Zeppelin and things. Now
Yeah,
they're
they do.
copying new wave.
Yeah.
So many new bands since we've left.
So what's the radio station in there? NOE or something like
Yeah,
that?
RNO and NOE.
Yeah.
Those are the two biggest ones.
Yeah, and they don't touch that, huh?
Broadly,
Very
all
seldom.
Cheap Tricks.
It's still real
Joe
disco.
Jackson, but that's not saying anything.
Yeah. Nothing to scream about.
Now we have some new. Well, I want to ask you what possessed you to come to New York City, but let's hear some new things. You brought a tape along that
Yeah,
has
these are some
some.
things we did in Memphis
Memphis.
with Mike Stewart. He was producing it.
And is this very recent?
The Memphis thing was
yeah.
about the last 3 months, I think. Within the
Okay.
last 3 months.
Here, let's hear some new music from the Normals. And our guest disc jockeys tonight are the Normals. In fact, we should find out who the Normals are. If you're facing your radio now,
Let's go left to right.
left to right.
Mike Fell.
What do you play, Mike?
I play drums, do vocals.
Are you from New Orleans?
Yes.
Charlie Hanson, and play lead guitar and vocals.
David Bruton, lead guitar, vocals, mostly rhythm though.
How can you both be lead guitar?
Oh, yeah, we switch around. you know.
Oh, okay.
Don't believe him.
He plays better than me anyway.
Right. I'll go on. Steve Walters up bass, just bass, no vocals.
Okay. Has the band always been a four-piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it happen to finally come to New York? I asked you that just before we went to the record. Why would a band becoming successful in New Orleans want to possibly come where it's cold?
Yeah, really.
In case you haven't noticed, it's 32 out.
I think
I
the problem was
noticed.
just staying in New Orleans, being, like celebrities of the city, didn't do anything because there's no record companies were about to come down there, or there's none really existing in New Orleans that were going to do anything for us.
Was the idea from the very start to record the stuff and actually be a recording band?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. After hearing, once the Ramones came out with an album, the Sex Pistols, we figured, that I think it'd be a good idea too,
Okay, once you get your base in a city like New Orleans, how do you get bookings across the country?
Well, what we did was we opened up all the incoming acts, and usually they brought like people like Miles Copeland Sauce and everybody that came through with their band. We'd open them up and we'd get a real good reaction, and they'd give us names of people they knew in New York, and we'd call them up, and the word just gradually spread. And not that we were doing anything with Miles Copeland right now, we're not.
So you all moved to New York at the same time?
We came up here as a band. We talked to a few booking agents and passed around a few tapes, and just generally doing probably what everybody else does when they come here.
Do you all live in the same house?
Yeah, we live sharing an apartment.
Not me.
Except for this place,
Yeah,
we just
we-
moved out.
We had to kick the bass player out of the apartment.
Ah.
His girlfriend just took the
Something
back
about
door
your
right
sneakers. I don't know what the problem was.
He thinks my sneakers are too dirty.
off. Yeah, they really are. After you smell anything, you know what it is.
Can't keep them out of town.
Now the band's been playing around here in the city, right?
Yeah,
Last
we
week
played
you
just
had
about every place I can think of. Tracks, Hurrahs, and we played CBGBs the last time we were up here. And
But this time we
Not
did.
this
This time
time.
we did Max's, which last time we
Friday
wanted
night.
to do, but we didn't get to do. We did Max's quite a few times, and Hurrah, I think 3 times,
Hmm.
and
Tracks twice.
Tracks twice.
So is there a new wave audience developing south of the Mason-Dixon line? Is it starting to happen, or is it strictly
Pockets.
a fairly
There is
large
one.
city thing in pockets?
There is one in New Orleans.
How about Atlanta?
Yeah, there's
Atlanta
we
got
heard it.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
in Atlanta for a couple of days, and there's a big new wave audience.
What they need to do is they need to have bands touring down there more often to keep it going. You know, because it's a lot of acts just don't feel like taking. There's a lot more space between each city in the South.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of space of nothingness. You know, whereas up here you can travel 200 miles in any direction and hit another big city.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they just don't feel like traveling 400 miles between each city. It's just a lot tougher on the road to do that. But what they need is to have constant bands touring down there to keep it going.
But it does seem to be a growing
Oh,
development.
they would
kind of-
definitely. I was really surprised. We went outside of New Orleans, and you said you used to stay in Biloxi. We played in
Bay
a
St.
park.
Louis. We played in Bay
We
St.
played in
Louis.
Bay St. Louis, and they had more punk magazines, it's like Johnny Rotten, all that covered and stuff like that, in Bay St. Louis and in a small hick town outside of New Orleans than they did inside New Orleans.
Like you go in a grocery store and you look at
It's
the
like they all
magazine
think
rack,
it's
there's all these
kicks.
punk
You know,
magazines.
they all think
I
it's
mean,
really
somebody's
hilarious.
obviously buying the
Think, oh
magazine.
yeah, punks, all right. I think it's great.
So that was like in early '78. It was real crazy.
Did you have problems getting records down there? I mean, like you hear of all these bands and stuff like that. When you walked into a local record shop, did you have a problem finding a Clash album or something like that?
Yeah.
Definitely. There was only like 2 record stores, and if they couldn't order it or they sold out, you had to wait. You know, I used to order my records through the mail, only way I could get them.
Hmm.
Yeah, because all the good stuff is here, you know, in New York or California, and y'all get shipments from England. Most of the new wave came from England. And you know, when New Orleans was getting in the new wave, there were none of these groups that signed in America. You only had the Ramones and the Sex Pistols, you know. Then obviously bands like Boomtown Rats get signed and things like that, and everything starts clicking.
Hmm.
So now you can get
Who
anything you
writes
want.
most of the songs in the Normals?
David writes most of it.
Has it been a problem having the Normal existing, or do they in fact still exist? Were you aware of them when you picked your name?
No, we were
No,
together.
no.
We had the name before them, and then
Definitely.
we put out a single, with Almost Ready on it. And a friend of mine brought over this thing he got through the mail. He said, "Look at this. It's called the Normal." It doesn't sound exactly the same as ours, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they're pretty
It
different.
sounded- yeah.
It's like I was at
And,
16 speed or
It
something.
was like we were together for about a year, and with the name and all, and working.
We
Have
heard
you been
about him.
ha-
He called Sire, and they
As
said
soon as
they
we
didn't
heard
think
about it,
the band was even together anymore. Normal. The Normal.
No, I think maybe they aren't. TVOD is the only thing I've been.
Yeah.
Warm Leatherette.
I
do
heard
think
that if this is true, that the guy who did the TVOD single is calling himself something else now. Like each single looks like it's going to be something different.
But they also
Good
there's another
idea.
band in Los Angeles calling themselves the Normals.
Yeah, there's a new band. We heard of a couple.
Well, if you've used it in interstate commerce, so
we have it ready.
you can get a trademark.
We've already got
Already
airplay out
John
in California.
Ogle,
so
Esquire.
hopefully they'll-
Our guests are the Normals, and let's go back to some music now. Maybe the Sex Pistols and the Ramones and the Jam weren't always available in New Orleans, but how about the Dave Clark Five?
There you go.
He was one character we encountered last time. He's like, I couldn't believe him, you know. It was like there's some bands from Houston wanted me to give them some promotional material for like some bands from Houston to go up there. And as soon as I mentioned, you know, somebody's name was representing these bands, he goes, no, I don't want to talk about it. He could give a shit. I mean, you know, he could give a damn about it. And but this isn't.
You don't need to worry about that, really.
Yeah,
We're
and,
the worst offenders. Nothing ever happens.
Profanity over the
Yeah, well, it wasn't intentional, but I don't know. It's I guess it's a never dull moment.